WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tommy Lopez. A judge has sentenced a Lee County woman to prison for stealing money from the woman she was taking care of. Attorney General Jim Hood announced today that 66-year-old Dorothy Whaley will spend 5 years in jail on an embezzlement charge. She'll also have to pay more than $150,000 to the victim. She was the caretaker for a woman with dementia. Her daughter, April, was also arrested. As the nationwide search continues tonight for a man accused of committing murder and posting a video of it online, we're asking questions about the role that social media is playing in crime today. Members of law enforcement are looking for 37-year-old Steve Stevens. Police say he shot a man randomly Sunday in Cleveland and posted video of it to Facebook. They say he's armed and dangerous, and they're looking in at least 5 states for him. It raises questions about how police will handle crimes where someone has put video on social media of a crime they committed. Our Selena Schaefer has more on how police in our area treat crimes like these.
Live streams like the one I'm working on right now are traditionally used for joyous occasions, whether it be gender reveal parties, birthday parties, or other celebrations. However, some criminals are using it to publish their crimes on the internet, where massive viewers are taking place.
That's what I did. I killed 13 people, and I'm about to keep killing until they catch me.
Steve Stevens isn't the first one to broadcast a crime on social media.
There's nothing that Facebook can do ahead of time because the technology doesn't really exist to scan content and figure out what's in it ahead of time. Somebody has to actually watch it and report it and say, oh, that's bad, and then Facebook has to go, oh, okay, well, let's remove it.
Communications professor Barry Smith says competition between different social media companies raises the risk for consequences.
Every platform does want to be the first to market, and hey, look, we've got this new thing that you can do.
Unfortunately, some people abuse it.
Nobody that owns a company ever wants to see a headline or a news story on TV about our platform was just used for this horrible thing.
But Smith says these recent events are eye-opening.
I think it is making a lot of people outside the companies think about the technology and how they're using it, and whether this is good for society.
Police Chief Ronnie Bowen says criminals thrive off of the attention and reposts.
It's a media outlet. They're being their own productions crew. Their claim to fame is trying to get that, their act of criminality out. That's their little snippet of fame. They're broadcasting to millions upon millions, and then it's captured and rebroadcast.
Do you see maybe there being restrictions in the future regarding social media posts and stuff like that?
Well, that's a good question. The First Amendment is a very strong constitutional right, and that's, we operate under that every day. So what restrictions, how much restrictions can you put? Where this will lead is a slippery slope.
If you ever see a criminal act posted in social media, you're asked to contact local law enforcement immediately. To our weather tonight, Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us. Keith, looks like this rain is on its way out.
The rain is on its way out. It's basically done right now. Earlier today, though, Tommy, very heavy downpours like this one in downtown Columbus. Some spots in and around Tupelo as well got between 1 to 2+ inches of rain today, but some of you got absolutely nothing. And right now, we don't really have any rain on our live Doppler radar right now. Those showers now falling apart in north central Alabama. So all quiet around here. Temperatures in the low and mid 60s. Humidity is high. We may fall a few more degrees. Here's our planner for Tuesday. We start out in the 60s, upper 70s, low 80s in the afternoon. And much like today, Tommy, we may bubble up a few more showers and storms. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Keith. There's another chance tonight for some people in our area to hear from the candidates that they'll soon be voting for or voting against. People in Columbus hear from some candidates on the left. The Lowndes County Democratic Executive Committee held a forum tonight. Mayoral candidates fielded questions, as did city council hopefuls.
And the whole idea is to give them an opportunity to state their vision for the city of Columbus and for the citizens to come and interact with them.
Municipal elections are less than a month away. Today, hundreds of people gathered in Tupelo to honor one man's career. Last month, longtime state representative Steve Holland announced that he's been diagnosed with dementia. The consensus is that everyone in Mississippi politics speaks highly of Holland. He says he plans to finish what's left of his term, so he'll retire in the year 2020. He's a fiery guy. He's had some stellar sound bites in the media over the years. He was in good spirits at the event tonight.
I love the people in this community, and I love what I am able to do to build bridges from death back to life. That's the way I've always thought of what I do in my business. And Mom's in her mid-80s, and my partner here, and we're both at a mature point in our life where we have nothing but just pure, awesome respect, not only for each other, but for the role that the Lord has given us to play in this community.
Democrats say they love him. Even Republicans say that they love working with him.
His language was a little salty, but it was effective. And you never knew where, you never had a question where Steve Holland stood. And I'm just going to miss him. I will just tell you, he added the spice to the legislative process that we needed, both during Republican days and Democrat days.
Best thing I can say about Steve is that he does his job, and his job is to represent the people of his district that he's elected to serve. They elect him to be their voice in Jackson. He does his job, and he does a great job of it.
He's been able to get the confidence and the trust of the people of opposite race, and he's other thing unusual about him is he doesn't mind telling you that I'm a Democrat and I'm a liberal, and he doesn't mind saying that, and most people are afraid to say that.
He's not afraid. Holland has served in the legislature since 1983. Columbus Christian Academy has named its new head of schools. The school board has hired Jay Watts as of today. He's of Ruleville, Mississippi. Tonight, students and parents had the opportunity to meet Watts for the first time. Watts has 30 years of experience in education. He spent the last 11 years as headmaster at Greenwood's Pillow Academy. Watts says he loves what he does, and he plans to bring passion and enthusiasm to CCA.
Well, I think it's important for people to have not only role models, but Christian men in their lives. I think it's important for them to see that grown people also struggle and have to overcome some things, and just they need somebody in their lives. Everybody doesn't have somebody that's crazy about them, and that's what I think I bring to the table. I'm crazy about students.
His first day on the job is July 1st. A public-private partnership in Tupelo is leading to improvements for an old neighborhood. There were groundbreaking ceremonies today at Jackson West. The development started several years ago when the nonprofit Neighborhood Development Corporation began buying houses in need of repairs. Construction is going on at several lots, and a few of the remodeled homes have been sold.
You know, I think that it's imperative that the city gets involved if we want to make a positive difference in the city of Tupelo, and this is, to me, a shining example of the good that government can do in revitalization.
Project leaders are preparing now for Phase 2. It's a section of land at Joyner and West Jackson Streets. It's good food for a good cause this week in Starkville. The Greater Starkville Development Partnership is hosting its 5th annual Restaurant Week. Customers, if they eat at participating businesses, they'll have a chance to vote for their favorite local charity. And the charity with the most votes at the end of it all, at the end of the week, gets a $5,000 donation. 31 restaurants are participating this year.
It's a Dine for Charity event, so it's a great opportunity for us to really showcase some of the charities in town that are doing great work. This charity nomination process is really driven by the community, so it really addresses those charities that maybe we don't even know about that are doing great work right here in Starkville. And at the same time, it's restaurant promotion, so it's a great opportunity to try a restaurant that you haven't tried during that week and create that economic impact that drives that 2% food and beverage tax.
Restaurant Week runs through Sunday.
A few more storms possible tomorrow. We will warm it up for Wednesday and Thursday. How about some upper 80s perhaps? And maybe some stronger storms by Saturday. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some pretty good rain in some locations today, like Becker, Mississippi, almost an inch right there in the old rain bucket. We'd love to see some rain. This is a different perspective of our Alpha Insurance camera network. You can see our time lapses today, Columbus and Tupelo. Showers and storms are rumbling on through here, producing some pretty good downpours. And look at some of these colors here. In and around the Tupelo area, 1 to 2 plus inches of rain. Right along Interstate 22, which is right there. So northeast Mississippi picking up some pretty good rain. Now, not everyone got this. If you got it, consider yourself lucky. In and around Columbus, some spots over an inch. You get out towards New Hope, very little. You go up to Caledonia, perhaps over 2 inches. So rainfall rates really varied around here. There's that force field we had going on between Starkville and Louisville, but some additional heavier rain back to the west. So, you know what, this is that spotty storm activity we typically see in the summertime. We got a jump start on the summertime weather pattern over the last couple of weeks, and we'll play it out again tomorrow. But you can see just some ground clutter here with our live Doppler radar. No rain falling in our area right now, but we will likely see some additional showers and storms flare back up tomorrow. So if you missed out on the rain today, hey, there's always another day. You can see that with Futurecast right here tomorrow afternoon. A chance for a few scattered showers and storms, locally heavy downpours, thunder and lightning. We don't anticipate severe weather, which is certainly good news. We'll take any rain that we can get. Now, rain chances lower for Wednesday. I really think we're going to see even less activity than what Futurecast is showing here Wednesday. So Wednesday probably okay. Thursday is looking dry. This front comes into the picture on Friday. Now, that will give us a chance for a few showers and storms, especially in North Mississippi. And then zipping along the backside of this front will be a system on Saturday afternoon and evening. That could give us some of those stronger storms. So we'll just see how it all plays out. But between now and then, it's going to be warm this week. Temperatures right now into the mid-60s, and we may fall a few more degrees down into the low 60s tonight. Humidity is high, so there could be some areas of fog later on tonight, so be aware of that. Upper 70s, low 80s here in northeast Mississippi tomorrow. Probably a fairly quiet start, but by the late morning into the early afternoon, a chance for some of those scattered showers and storms around here. And there you have it in the West Alabama as well, a chance for some rain. Here's our 7-day. You can see how we're looking Wednesday and Thursday, mid to possibly upper 80s. A chance for a few of those storms on Friday, but the next best chance will come on Saturday afternoon and evening. And then some cooler stuff, Tommy, Sunday and Monday, low to mid 70s for a change.
A lot cooler coming up very soon.
Which is actually more typical. It's just been so warm for so long.
Right, so high above average. And some good rain today in Columbus.
Very good stuff in some locations, yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle has a look at a respiratory disease that's becoming more common. That's coming up tonight.
Watching WCBI News at 10 with Tommy Lopez.
To our Health Talk with Baptist segment tonight. Tonight, Baptist is talking about asthma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gaurav Dutta, part of the pulmonology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight, I want to talk to you about asthma. Asthma is a chronic disease of the airways that makes breathing difficult. With asthma, there is inflammation of the air passages that results in a temporary narrowing of the airways that carry oxygen to the lungs. This results in asthma symptoms including coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. If it is severe, asthma can result in decreased activity and inability to talk. Even though there are many available treatments for asthma symptoms, untreated or undertreated asthma is still a serious, even dangerous disease that affects about 26 million Americans and causes nearly 2 million emergency room visits a year. There are three main features of asthma. 1. Airway obstruction. In people with asthma, allergy-causing substances, colds and respiratory viruses, and environmental triggers make the bands of muscle surrounding the airways tighten, and air cannot move freely. Less air causes a person to feel short of breath. 2. Inflammation. People with asthma have red and swollen bronchial tubes, which are thought to contribute greatly to the long-term damage that asthma can cause to the lungs. 3. Airway irritability. The airways of people with asthma are extremely sensitive. The airways tend to overreact and narrow to triggers such as pollen, animal dander, or fumes. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, where we talk about asthma symptoms and warning signs.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Mississippians are among those who survived the 26-plus mile grind of the Boston Marathon. Someone from right here in our backyard led the way for Magnolia State runners. More on that next in sports.
CDI Sports with Tom Ebel.
To run 26 miles and 385 yards is something I'm not sure I ever want to experience, and I have the utmost respect for anyone that can survive it. Mississippians from our viewing area can now say they've survived the Boston Marathon. The 121st running up in Boston here today. Columbus's own 31-year-old Thomas Witter finished first among Mississippians to compete in the marathon. He finished in 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 20 seconds. 3 of the top 5 Mississippians to finish the Boston Marathon come from our viewing area. Along with Witter, Mathiston's Kendall Jones came in second, and Tupelo's Jim Brown came fourth among Magnolia State runners. We're at the halfway point in the 2017 college baseball season. The SEC is as competitive as ever. 7 teams ranked in the latest coaches poll, one of those teams being the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Bulldogs come into the week ranked 16th in the latest coaching poll. Baseball America has the Bulldogs as high as 11th nationally. Mississippi State travels to South Alabama tomorrow for a matchup before preparing for a weekend series against the Crimson Tide at the Dew. Ole Miss returns home for the week, coming off that tough weekend series loss to LSU in Baton Rouge. The Rebels take on Arkansas Pine Bluff Wednesday before its weekend series against the Missouri Tigers. It's a big week for Ole Miss to try and claw their way back above 500 in the SEC. Speaking of Ole Miss Rebels, there he is, Lance Lynn on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. Man, he was throwing the good stuff here early on for the Cardinals. Strikes out 1 and then gets Andrew McCutchen looking. Lynn would finish no earned runs, but here comes the run support. Colton Wong, he's going to slap one to right. That's out of town. 1 run scores for Cardinals. They're up 1-0. It'd be a grinded out game for St. Louis. Here they're still up 1-0. Greg Garcia, he's going to ground one to third, but David Freese, the barehander. Look at that throw. That's a nice play right there for the Pirates. Great hustle by a third baseman, Freese. I can't do that. So then we're going to go to the second, or more for the Cardinals here. Josh Harrison, he's going to make a one-hander right here. There's a deep shot. Look at this. That is a wedge gem right there. That's Randall Grishuk with the diving grab. Then bottom 7th, Cardinals still 1-0. They're going to make it 2-0 here. Josh Martinez, he's going to line one in the center. Grishuk, the guy we were just talking about, he comes in for the score. Cardinals, they get the 2-1 win. Lynn picks up his first win in 2017. Let's go to the NBA playoffs. Cleveland Cavaliers looking to make it 2-0 against the Pacers. Paul George, jams all over Tristan Thompson. Good grief, have mercy. But Cavs would have their way in this one. Here in transition, LeBron doing LeBron things. That man is, 33 years old, still doing that? Insane. The man never ages. I'm telling you, Larry Bird's like that man. I can't believe it. Here's LeBron again. Nice driving kick to Kevin Love in the corner. Drains the triple. Cleveland rolling here through the first half. They're up by 13. Then Kyrie, right before the fourth quarter, drains a triple right in Lance Stephenson's grill. They're up by 19 in the fourth. But here come the Pacers again. Paul George with the onions. 2 hands in his face. He just says doesn't matter. He drains the triple. Paul has another 30-pointer, but then Kyrie Irving takes over. He drains a mid-range jumper, hand down, man down. Then he's going to have a nice floater here in the paint, and Kyrie for triple. Another one in born ready. Even Lance was like, give me a break with this guy. The Pacers would cut it to about 7 here. I think it's a 7-point game. Cleveland blowing these leads in the fourth quarter, but they would come away with the victory. LeBron James would have a big block late on Miles Turner. LeBron's still reminding the young fellas it's still a grown man's game. Here Kyrie would cap it off. He'd finish with a game-high 37 points. So Cleveland makes it 2-0 with the 117-111 win over the Pacers. And for those of you looking for the Memphis Grizzlies, struggling right now against the San Antonio Spurs, but it's the Spurs, man. They're that good.
Yeah, and the Cavs are that good.
They are. They are. It's LeBron's world. We're all living in it.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. We'll have a final look at the forecast coming up next.
All right, more of the same tomorrow. Low 80s, some showers and storms possible. A little bit drier but warmer Wednesday and Thursday. Some additional storms possible by the weekend. So there's your 7 day.
Watching that rain as well tomorrow, it looks like.
Yeah, very similar to what we had today. Some spots getting soaked, some spots maybe not getting anything.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is coming up next.